Welcome all. Welcome all to this financial awareness and literacy program organized by Money Life Foundation and Vivekananda Seva Mandal Dombivli. Let me also welcome our honorable speakers, Mr. Yogesh Sapkale and Mr. Abhay Datar. Please come on dais. So guys, in today's world, let me not spend much time in initial talk, but let us start this program by first, so as our Indian tradition goes, whatever auspicious work we start, we light diya first. So let me request both the dignitaries to go towards the Pratima of Bharat Mata and Swami Vivekananda and light diya. So let us start our today's program. Let me briefly introduce you what is Money Life Foundation. You have seen the video, therefore you do not need much introduction. But Money Life Foundation is, it was set up in February 2010 to give voice to savers and consumers of financial products and services. Over the years, it has emerged as one of the fastest growing not-for-profit organizations in the space. Its membership is free. All you need to do is to fill up the feedback forms available with you. Money Life Foundation has over 63,000 members nationwide and has conducted over 325 seminars and workshops so far. So this is 326th workshop for them. And in 2014, the foundation also received the prestigious M.R. Pai Memorial Award for spreading financial literacy and consumer awareness. It is fiercely independent and non-partisan, and its financial literacy and advocacy effort do not hawk any product or services. Money Life Foundation runs helplines. They include a legal resource center, a tax helpline, and a credit helpline. All the events are recorded and uploaded on Money Life Foundation's website under events in case you want to check them out. The videos can be accessed on Money Life TV channel on YouTube as well. We also urge you to take a look at the free daily guidance clinics conducted at the Foundation's office in Dadar for one-to-one counseling on various topics by experts. Now, a little bit about Vivekananda Seva Mandal, which is also a co-organizer for this event. Vivekananda Seva Mandal, as many of you might be knowing, is a youth organization based in Dombivli. We have our library with which we started our organization in 1992. And we have our study center. We work in two areas broadly. One is youth development. So development of youth in all the aspects of the personality, be it spiritual, be it intellectual, be it emotional. And we are basically organizing several programs for development of youth. As well as the second pillar of Vivekananda Seva Mandal's work rests around the principle called Seva. So we have actually several Seva projects. We have adopted two villages. One is Vihigav and second is Khodde, where we work with tribal villagers to upgrade their life. We also work in certain municipally run schools in Dombivli, wherein underprivileged students get help as well as educational help from Vivekananda Seva Mandal volunteers. So how we thought about this seminar? We were actually discussing and deliberating about certain aspects of financial transactions, be it loan, be it saving, be it insurance, or be it anything else like digital transactions, which is the norm of the day. And we realized that not many youngsters know definitive answers about certain questions that they have in their mind. So we thought, why not invite experts in this industry? And that's how, while discussing this plan internally, my friend and deputy editor of Money Life, as well as one of the member of Money Life Foundation, Mr. Yogesh Sapkale, he approached us telling that there is a kind of seminar that they are expert in delivering. So why don't you come on board and deliver this seminar for your own volunteers and students? So we said, wow, this is a great opportunity. Let us get all the youngsters in one place and actually have a kind of discussion wherein they will know about how to transact safe in this digital area. So basically this entire seminar is about overcoming your resistance to know more about financial transactions. See, being an Indian, you have certain predisposition towards thinking of money, right? We have inherited certain principles, certain ethics, certain values when it comes to money. Primarily, Indians are largely emotional people. So, while dealing with finances, while dealing with money, I have seen many people who are also working in financial segment. They are very callous. They are very unprofessional. They are very okay, chalta hai type of attitude. But this type of attitude land you in trouble. And when certain incidences or frauds or certain problems occur to you, then only you wake up and say, oh my God, this has happened to me. So what is the solution now? So before entering into such kind of a troublesome situation, let us avoid such traps and let us avoid getting into certain financial problems and troubles in your life. Therefore, there is a need when you are starting your life in terms of getting into a job or starting your own business, coming out of college, you need to basically know the fundamentals of finance, fundamentals of personal finance, not overall finance, but personal finance. How to manage your salary, how to keep aside certain portion of your income as savings. Once your savings get generated, how to invest that savings into prudent investment products. You will come to know that many marketing experts in this domain do mis-selling. They tell you that there is an assured rate of return, you will get this, that, you will get moon, sun, etc. But once you invest and be with them for over a period of time, you realize that whatever moons and stars that they promise to you, they don't come to you. Therefore, it is best to avoid getting into these traps. And so, one part is saving, second part is investment, third part is securing your entire life, financial life, by getting requisite insurances. Again, insurance is an area where there is a lot of mis-selling happens, and regulators have also come up heavily on insurance sector due to mis-selling. So you need to know basic difference between a simple insurance, a ULIP product, an endowment product, whatever it takes to get yourself insured, etc. So we have experts in Mr. Abhay Datar as well as Mr. Yogesh Sapkale, who will take you through their presentations, and they will make you understand the difference between basic investment, insurance, how to do transaction safe. Because in today's world, digital is the buzzword, right? All of you must be using either Paytm or any of the digital transaction mode, which will allow you to transfer even 1 rupee to your friend, right? So while doing those transactions, how to be safe? If at all you enter into erroneous transaction, there is some problem with your transaction, how to get redressal. All these aspects will be taken care by Mr. Sapkale. So let me just briefly introduce the speakers to you, and then we will straight away deep dive into the session. So let me introduce Mr. Abhay Datar. He is a renowned consumer activist and also member of the managing committee of the Mumbai Grahak Panchayat. You must be knowing Mumbai Grahak Panchayat is one of the top consumer activists in the activism organization in this country. He was treasurer at MGP for over 2.5 years. After working at Bank of Baroda for about 29 years, he retired as IT manager. Mr. Datar has resolved many cases related to banking, including online fraudulent transactions. As I was mentioning, I am also working in banking and financial services space. So, but I am on the communications and media side. So daily we encounter at least 1 or 2 frauds in terms of customers being fraudulently duped by scheming. There are several kind of mechanisms by which you get defrauded. There is wishing, there is smishing, there is phishing. All sorts of these fraudulent transactions take place. So Mr. Datar has handled at the bank side, being an IT manager, he has to manage IT security as well. Therefore, he has handled all those cases related to mobile and Mediclaim. He also provides one-to-one guidance during the free daily clinic at Money Life Foundation every Thursday between 5 to 7 in the evening. So you have medical illnesses and you go to the clinic and get them resolved, right? You get medicine from the doctor and you get those kind of illnesses resolved. So in this financial clinic, Money Life Foundation offers such help to those people who are troubled by certain financial irregularities or certain wrongdoings which were meted to them by various financial institutions. So Mr. Datar is one of the top clinician, so to say, in these daily clinics. The second session will focus on money transactions and will be conducted by Mr. Yogesh Sapkale, who is the Deputy Editor of Money Life and also Director for Projects at Money Life Foundation. Mr. Sapkale writes a technology column for Money Life magazine. In your kit that you have been provided, there is a Money Life magazine, so you will know what kind of articles that Money Life magazine is writing. He has been working in print, TV, newswire and web media. He was business editor of DD News as well as India correspondent of Thomson Reuters. So I had a privilege to work at both these places with Yogesh, and that's how we got introduced. Another thing about Yogesh is, you might have, I don't know whether you are aware about this particular fraud, but about 5-6 years back, the Speak Asia fraud was detected. So there was a company called Speak Asia, and I think it was in survey. By allowing people to conduct surveys, they promised them certain kind of money for each survey, and it was a MLM. So this entire fraud was there in the news, especially in television media. But when it comes to television media, you will take notice. But once a print medium or a magazine writes about it, it may not come to your notice. So Money Life was the first magazine which brought out the fraudulent transactions of this MLM company called Speak Asia. And Yogesh was the editor who brought this entire fraud to the light. And therefore all the media picked it up. In fact, there is a credit given to Money Life and Yogesh's investigation by none other than Mumbai Police. Economic offences wings of Mumbai Police, they have got entire evidence as well as material collected by Yogesh assiduously through this investigation and made it a part of the ongoing case against this MLM company called Speak Asia. So he's a distinguished journalist, as well as there are several helplines run by Money Life Foundation, including one on tax. So tomorrow if you or somebody else faces troubles as far as taxes are concerned, they run the clinic and helpline free of cost. Then there is a credit helpline, and then there is a legal helpline also. So all these helplines are anchored by Yogesh. And one of the examples which I know personally is, although Yogesh is a distinguished journalist, but he can reply to the legal notices of any corporations, and he does that. Also, in his own cooperative housing society where he resides in Kalyan, there was a lot of irregularities, and because of his legal knowledge that he acquired through all these years, he actually took charge of his entire cooperative housing society's council, and now he is the chairman of that society and running the entire affairs of that society very legally as well as prudently. So the point here I wanted to convey is, they know their subjects very well, they apply in their own personal life as well as help other people to resolve their queries as well as their own troubles, and therefore they are here to guide us. Let me not take much of your time, but before I request them to start this program, let me just felicitate them with a bouquet from Vivekananda Seva Mandal. Let me request Abhijit to honor Mr. Abhay Datar from Vivekananda Seva Mandal with small memento and a bouquet. May also request our senior member Prasad Karve to felicitate Yogesh Sapkale by presenting him a memento as well as a bouquet. So now, without wasting much time, I will request Mr. Datar to start with his session. Mr. Datar.
Very good morning, friends. I hope you all can see all this, or should the light be off? Okay. So, yours is a group who has just started the life out from the protected family environment and now going to the world. There is no limit for what you can do. So it's quite a challenging thing to face new things, new challenges, competitions and what not. So we will just have a look of various things, how you will be facing all these challenges, what you will be required to do and how to resolve the issues. Right? It will be a very light session. I am not going to bore you, don't worry. First thing is, you have entered into a world of challenges. As I told you, you are out of the family protection. You have started doing your own things, going to office or started your own business or any other profession. So there are certain challenges that you have to start facing. And what are they? There are certain tasks given to you. Tasks mean generally projects. There you are asked, see, this is a subject, you have to study, you have to review, you have to take certain surveys, you have to make some PowerPoint presentation, and you have to come to some conclusion or some suggestions. So how it was, how it should be, and how it can be overcome. So these are the projects generally given to you. Then there are numbers. Targets in terms of number. I remember my daughter's friend, once she had come to our home and while leaving in the evening, she got a message from her private bank. She was working in a private bank. Before coming tomorrow to office, you have to bring new 4 accounts, savings accounts. So that was a challenge, that was a task, that was a target given to her. And these are the targets for your promotion or whatever it is. You have to complete these targets. There is no way out. These are two biggest challenges for you. And how to go about that. Now the thing is that getting a job has become very, very competitive. Earlier, graduate, BCom, BSc, BA, okay, no problem. But now even MBAs, CS, they are facing problems. Because in old days, there were many engineers. That was a favorite field for all the newcomers. Over the period, it started going off, and then CA, Chartered Accountants, ICWS, they started coming up. Thereafter, IT, MCA was a favorite thing for most of the youngsters. And now it is MBA. Of course, there are certain fields, MBA in HR, MBA in accounts, MBA in other different fields. Many fields are there. But now it is turning to service sector instead of production sector. Earlier, engineering was production sector related. Now all these things are mostly service related issues. Increasing rate of higher literacy at higher level. As I told you earlier, it was engineering. Now it has totally moved the direction towards service sector. And there are many MBAs coming out every year. The number is increasing. So naturally there is competition. Earlier the package was handsome. Yearly 6 lakhs, 7 lakh, even 10 lakhs. Now it has got reduced. So this is one of the reasons. You have to keep updated in your field regularly. There is no excuse. If you tell your boss, I'm sorry, I don't know this, boss will tell you, see, this is the new thing which has come into the market. So naturally, you have to keep updated yourself. Whatever field is there, suppose it is, if you can give some example, IT. What is the latest, most common, what is the latest virus definition? Now we have seen all the virus attacks recently that that has shaken the world. So we have to keep updated what are the latest things, what new virus has come, how it got overcome by whom, etc. If you are in IT field, like that there are many certain issues which you have to tackle and we have to keep updated on these issues. Then two types of responsibilities. One is of course home, because what you are earning is for your home, your family. So naturally home comes first. Share some of the home expenses. Till getting the service, Papa, some pocket expenses दो ना मुझे, और मम्मी, पापा नहीं सुनते तो मम्मी please try to convince Papa to give something to me. Now that is gone. You have started earning your own money. So you have to think to give something back to your parents. Your parents have done so much thing for you. Now it is your time to give at least something. Parents may definitely say, no, you keep it for yourself. You have yet to get married. You will have to buy some flat or some other property, etc. So you keep this money for yourself, save for yourself. But still keep in mind, at least keep on trying giving something to your papa. Say special day or some festival is there. Give some gift, they will feel definitely happy. Rising expectations from parents. As you grow, they definitely expect, yes, you should get promotion. Don't be, for example, suppose somebody is clerk, then parents will definitely expect he should become officer. Once he becomes officer, he should become manager. Or even ladies, now they are rising to the space of CEOs, Chanda Kochar, ICICI Bank chief. So this is the expectation not only for specific category, it is for all. Every parent has expectation from his children, whatever the age may be. Then we keep on saying, "Abhi मैं क्या छोटा हूँ या अभी मैं छोटी हूँ का?" Please don't tell me all these things. But still, these things happen. They were happening in my time also. They are happening in this time also. Nothing new. And you have to see how you will meet the rising expectations of your parents. May not be fully, but at least give some assurance to them, yes, you are doing something for the family. Now at office, it's just tremendous. Promotion, as I mentioned, you have gone there to build your career. So you will definitely not stay as a clerk or as an officer. You will see the opportunities to rise up and up and up. And the more promotions you get, the more will be the responsibilities, the more will be the targets, the more will be the tasks. Again, here is the expectation from your employer. What we saw from the parents, similarly here the expectations from your employer, which you have to meet. Transfer, staying away from the family. Transfer generally, it is in banks or government fields. If you are staying in Mumbai, then you are transferred to Calcutta or Delhi or even some particular in banks, some remote places, rural areas where there is no basic infrastructure. Particularly in nationalized bank people, we have expected all these things. No proper drinking water, no proper food, no living arrangements. But then if we want further promotion, we had to complete that. Rural criteria, rural and semi-urban, that is the keyword for this. So you have to go from this phase. That is, of course, naturally staying away from family. So having some homesickness, remembering your parents, yes, I would have been very happy if they had been here. So that feeling definitely comes. Internal politics. Internal politics is a thing where somebody else tries to steal the credit. You have done some job, but so that some other person projects that he or she has done all these things. आगे आगे करना है जिसको बोलते हैं ना, जी हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ जी. So like that they will keep on telling their boss or they will keep on impressing their boss. See, these things are done. I have done this. I have managed to do this. I have got this done. Something like that. Who is the real person who has done this? You, not that person. So this also you have to face. This is very treacherous challenge because it upsets your mind. and you go into depression. So you have to survive this particular thing, come out of this politics, but don't play your own politics. Be honest to yourself. Definitely there will be somebody to help you in that case. Job uncertainty, particularly in private field, you don't know when you'll get a pink note. Just a simple letter, thanks for your services. From tomorrow onwards, we don't need your services. This is your paycheck. This happened particularly in private sector or private banks. Fortunately, till now, it has not happened in public sector or government organizations. Changeover, that is changing a job. It might be for any reason. Suppose your earlier boss has asked you, your services are not required, then naturally you go on searching for other jobs. Or there may be some opportunities, better opportunities from the present job. So that changeover has to be there. Of course, see that conditions in the present job, conditions in the future job, what are the policies over there, whether they suit you, the place where you will be posted. You just make a study of all these things and then choose the other job. I have seen people who change the job just for the 1,000 rupees rise. So that is not proper. If you are in a specific field, you try to acquire more and more knowledge, become perfect in your job, then after a few years, you will definitely negotiate your own terms while changing over the job. So just keep this in mind. Now, you have started earning, you must also start saving. Don't spend your entire earnings. Saving is very, very important. It comes handy whenever there is any type of need. We don't know today, the whole world, all activities are very, very hectic. So we don't know what will happen the next moment. So we have to be ready with our savings, because the savings will come to our help. And to begin with, choose a government bank, nationalized bank. Simply speaking, nationalized bank is a bank where the name is written without the word limited. State Bank, Bank of Baroda, Corporation Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of India, so many banks are there. And their board says Government of India Enterprise or something like that, similar to that. So all these are nationalized banks. Our financial sector or banking sector is totally different from that is in US or in the Western countries. You must be remembering that 2008 issue when first Bear Stearns, the fifth largest bank in America, just collapsed. And thereafter the turn was Lehman Brothers, the fourth largest. The government, the US government just did not do anything. They let the bank. Here the conditions are different. Global Trust Bank was a private bank and there were many problems. But our government or banking ministry, they made some arrangements and saw that this bank would be merged in some nationalized banks. And then it was done like that. So generally the protection is there, though not official. Government here, the Indian government tries to protect the banking sector. So to start with, choose a government bank. It is very, very safe. Your money won't go anywhere. Cooperative banks. There is the failure rate of cooperative banks is very, very high. There are two types of cooperative banks. One is scheduled cooperative banks. Other is non-scheduled. Again, I will come to the concept of reading the board. Any bank which is a scheduled bank will say so on its board, scheduled cooperative bank. The bank which is not scheduled will not write these words. Still, if you are having some confusion, you can ask the branch manager whether it's a scheduled bank or non-scheduled bank. Just like cooperative banks, there are cooperative credit societies. Keep away from these societies. I will tell you the reason afterwards. Why? But the rate of failing cooperative banks is very high because most of the cooperative banks are headed by political leaders who have very high stake and who बहुत पहुँचे हुए लोग. So nothing happens. Again, these banks are having dual regulations, cooperative banks. One is from the Reserve Bank of India. As such, Reserve Bank of India is having regulation or a watchdog, as a watchdog, on the whole banking industry. But as far as cooperative banks are concerned, apart from Reserve Bank of India, there also comes the Maharashtra government's register of cooperative societies. So it's a dual control. There is audit, everything is there. The cooperative banks get A class, B class or something like that. But all these things can be managed. So definitely keep away from non-scheduled cooperative banks and also cooperative credit societies. And among scheduled cooperative banks, just see who is the better option. For example, rightly we can say Saraswat Bank, NKGSB, Shamrao Vittal Cooperative Bank. These are some of the strong banks, but the number is very, very small. What we think is that just it is nearby, it is having double timing, that is morning timing, evening timing, so it is very, very convenient for us. Just don't go by emotions. Choose the good bank. Then comes Nidhi, Bachat Gat, Bishi. You must have read in the newspapers all about these things. It is nothing like cheat fund. But instead of CHIT, cheat fund, mostly probably it is CHEAT, cheat fund. बहुत फंसाते हैं. And you must have come across certain cases in the newspaper also. The big political leaders were arrested and CBI is still after some other people. So this is not at all a good option for youngsters like you. In India, the bank deposits are insured up to 1 lakh rupees. Every bank has this cover. 1 lakh rupees means suppose you are having different savings in a specific bank. The whole amount is rupees 1 lakh or less than that, you will get totally protected. You will get the money back if something goes wrong with the bank. It is also true as far as cooperative banks are concerned. But the whole process is very, very time consuming. When the Reserve Bank orders closure of the bank, then only you get the money back, that 1 lakh rupees, otherwise not. Till that, Reserve Bank says, say 1,000 rupees per person per week. Or say 5,000 per month, something like that. Some restrictions, financial restrictions are there. And why this happens? Because there is a mismanagement. The funds, NPAs you must have, if you are reading that financial page in newspaper, you must be coming across the word NPA, non-performing assets. And the rate is going very high. There are many willful defaulters, other types of defaulters and whatnot. So the whole thing is that once this rupees 1 lakh, though it is offered, it takes lot of time, but it's a totally different issue. It is just for the sake of information, because there are certain again rules and regulations. If you want to know more about this 1 lakh rupees, you can just go to DICGC site, that is Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation of India, DICGC.org or .gov.in. Just right now I don't remember. It is either .org or .gov.in. Very nice examples are given, specific examples, who will get this 1 lakh, who will not. Just go through this. Whenever particularly you go to private sector banks, there are different types of accounts. Normally we know savings account is okay. Saving means minimum 1,000 we have to keep, and we will get a checkbook, we will get internet banking code, or mobile app if we want, we will get that, some ATM or debit card, and perhaps a credit card. This is a normal thing with all the banks. But there are banks who offer elite accounts. Just if we say about savings account, forget about current and other accounts. If we go for savings account, there are different types of accounts. One account is called no frill account. You can keep zero balance, but you won't get any discount or any other facilities. Keep that balance and enjoy your account. That is one thing. The higher level you go, the more elite account, the requirement will be of more average balance. Say, for example, you have to maintain, State Bank has recently said minimum 5,000 rupees balance. Other banks say you have to keep minimum 25,000 average balance. So we will give you drafts free. You can use your credit card anywhere, anytime, something like that. This time you have to check your own requirement. Do you really need this? Why you are just wasting 25,000 rupees balance over there, earning only 4% interest? If you don't want all these things, keep this amount in a simple savings account and transfer the balance to fixed deposit to earn higher rate of interest. It is upon you. It will be differing from case to case. Some of you might be having some more requirements. Some of you may not. So according to your requirements, choose. Ask the officer. Make them to give you something in black and white. Because वो उसने कहा था, इसने कहा था. The thing what happens is that when people come to us, they don't have with complaints. Ki this bank has done this, that bank has done that, but they don't have anything writing. That is only talking business. And I always quote my general manager whenever in a meeting, zonal committee meeting, whenever a branch manager used to tell, sir, I have told her to do this, I have told her to do that. Our GM immediately fired back, I don't want holding business, I want everything in black and white. This black and white thing, that is documentation, this helps a lot in resolving your complaints. If there is no complaint, fine. We will not have any job then. But there are complaints because such things happen. इसने ये बताया, उसने ये वो बताया, and that doesn't work. That doesn't come into practice, and that's why the complaints arise. So keep on asking, negotiate. In market also, suppose we have seen some good cloth or T-shirt or whatever it is. We try to negotiate. No, I am not giving you 1,000 rupees. मैं सिर्फ 500 रुपए देता हूँ. Something like we do. Same way you try to negotiate with the banks. कि no, these are my requirements. I don't want this type of account. Or in this type of account only you give me these facilities. There are banks who tailor-made things for you. As I told you, put things in writing. Save mails. You must be getting mails from the bank for any of your queries or any of your complaints. Store them properly, see that they are not getting deleted anyhow. Check charges and mailers offering free service. This is of utmost importance. Every bank's website has the column charges. Mostly at the bottom, there are many things, interest rates and this and that. One option is charges. What is charges? If you don't keep minimum balance, what will be the charges? If you use your ATM at other banks' ATMs, how much will be the charges? If you want more checkbooks, how much will be the charges? So all the charges, demand draft and what not, many things are there. Just go through that table, check the charges. If you are satisfied, then only open the account, otherwise no. Same way, free service. Nothing comes free. We always keep in consumer active, all these consumer actives particularly say one free on another, 1 to 1 free. No, it never happens. There is some hitch somewhere, a little deviation. I will just tell you, we had been to a mall and there they had written ek pe ek free. There was some drink, cold drinks, sort of cold drink. And we saw label reading, that is of utmost importance. So we just checked the label, the stock was old. That's why they were offering 1 to 1 free. Same thing, if you buy something in the mall, the MRP is different. If you buy it to the Kirana store, the Bania just outside the mall, the price is different. That is lower than what is there in the mall. Offering this after discount only, the price in the mall is more than the Bania shop. So this is the utmost important thing. Mails offering you free service. Nothing comes free. There must be some hitch. So try to check that one. Don't fall into the trap. Ask for contacts of seniors, at least 2 levels above relationship manager. Relationship manager is a simple officer who looks after your requirements, who gives you services. But there are certain other people who are above his level, like the branch manager, or generally nowadays every branch is having some vice president or something like that. Apart from that, every branch is having a board giving the addresses and contact numbers and emails of their regional office, their head office. They are also expected to give some codes of conduct with the customers, what the bank should do for their customers. All these are required to be displayed in the branch. Do not fail or I would say without fail, read all these things. So if anything is there, if you want to escalate the thing, then you can contact the higher officer. If you are not satisfied with your relationship manager, you can definitely go there. Temptations. मेरा भी छुटकारा नहीं था when I was of your age. So I don't know whether I have the right to tell you something on this, but anyway, I have already passed through that phase. So temptations are always there, whatever may be the age. At young age it is more, at my age it is less, but temptations are there. And what are the purchases? Craze of purchasing. Go to this mall, go to that mall, or go to some sale, or anywhere. Just go. If you are going to see a movie in a multiplex, unnecessarily buy something else. What earlier there were theaters, we used to go to the theater, watch the movie, come out, go home. Now the things are not that simple. There are so many temptations around you. Many good, beautiful looking watches, mobile phones, and this and that, clothes. So naturally there is a temptation, but see whether you really want this. Cards, I have mentioned cards. You know how many types of cards are there? Can anybody tell me? Cards. ATM. One is ATM, the basic card. ATM which you get with when you open the account. It is restricted only to withdraw money or certain other services like getting the previous 10 transactions, something like that. Very, very restricted. Then comes debit card. It is ATM card come purchase card. If you go to some shop, some mall or some theater, you can use that card to pay money. You need not pay cash. So that is another option. And the third one is credit card. Credit card is the card where the bank who issues the credit card fixes a limit. Suppose say 1 lakh rupees. You can buy up to 1 lakh rupees. But if you want that card, it is definitely a good thing to have a card. Instead of parting cash, I would always prefer to use card. I would go still ahead and tell you, if you are financially disciplined, don't use debit card, use credit card. Because credit card is having some period. I'll tell you my example. I am having Standard Chartered. It's not an advertisement. I am just telling you what is the fact. I am having Standard Chartered credit card. The billing starts, what bill I get is 20th of every month. What happens is that the nice thing, on 21st, if I make some purchases with that credit card, so for 21st July, I have made certain purchases. July is gone. June. This is June is going on. 21st June, I make certain purchases. June is gone. July is gone. I have to pay the money before 8th August. So I'm getting a very fine credit. My payment is postponed till that date. And I have to completely pay the bill before the due date. If 8 is the due date, by 5 or 6, I have made it a habit to square off the dues. But again, I am telling you, if you are financially disciplined, if you have the capacity to fully pay the bill, then only go for credit card. Otherwise, no. Go for debit card, because in debit card what happens? It checks the balance in your account and it allows you to make purchases only to that extent. But definitely go for card. Have less and less cash transactions. Most of the shops and many places, they are accepting debit credit cards, but not ATM. ATM generally it is only for withdrawing money. It doesn't work in the point of sale. It is called POS, point of sale. It doesn't work. Again, these cards, there are many conditions which you must read. Particularly, when you receive a bill, in case of credit card, there is an amount, minimum payment amount. Suppose there is a bill of 5,000 rupees and they say 250 you must pay, minimum 250. It doesn't mean that by paying 250 you can forget all other things. No, it is not like that. You have to pay the full amount, otherwise it will attract interest as high as 48% per annum. And again, there are charges for not paying this in time. Okay? Friend circles. अरे चलो जाएंगे किधर. So this is another temptation. And then how much time is gone and nobody knows. In the night, 10, 11, 12, then we come home, then our parents start shouting, अरे किधर थे, क्या हुआ, इतनी रात हो गई, and this and that. Okay, once in a while, once in a month, it's okay, but as far as possible, try to avoid this so that you can concentrate on other important issues which you have to in your field. And this is most dangerous. Addictions of cigarettes, smoking, drinks, even Facebook and WhatsApp also. Yesterday only I received a WhatsApp on this one. I was just sharing with Yogesh and this one. WhatsApp और Facebook से छुटकारा पाना है तो मिलिए दादर वेस्ट के बाहर बाबा बंगाली. No, things have come to that extent. We all know not only in India, but the whole world is just checking mobile. This is addiction only. Try to stay away from this. I am not on this social media. I do have WhatsApp, but I am keeping myself away as far as possible because it's wasting lot of time. Apart from that, games, computer games, this vein starts paining. And there is certain type of vibrations, I won't call vibrations, but something goes wrong in the head also. That I have experienced. And after that I have stopped, I have deleted, I have uninstalled all the games from my phone and also from my computer. Because again, lot of time wasting. Safe investment is in a disciplined manner. This is my very, very favorite subject because I have done it, I have experienced it, and I have been telling it to others also. There are two types. One is traditional. What is traditional? Post office. I am fortunate to have a post office in my building. I am fortunate to have patience to wait there to get the things done. So I have again 50 rupees minimum balance. It's not a state bank like 5,000 or 10,000, something like that. 50 rupees minimum balance I can keep there. So now it has also come on core banking solution with Finacle application by Infosys. Post office has started working like banks, link banks. There are many post office saving schemes like monthly income scheme. They offer PPF, they offer insurance, they offer Kisan Vikas Patra. Then senior citizen, of course it is not for you. You can just go for it. They are having their on their website also. They have put all this information. And bank deposits. Again, bank deposits, different types of savings, like savings account, for fixed deposit account, recurring deposit account. Recurring deposit is my most favorite thing of investment. If you have certain targets, I am coming to that. I just let you know. You can use recurring deposit. Very disciplined manner. You can save more and you can get a handsome amount at the end of the period. Before I turn to market oriented, I'll let you know about disciplined investment by traditional way. When I got settled in my life, I am having 2 daughters, so everything got settled. Then my wife and I started putting 1,000 rupees in NSC. As I told you, post office is in my building only. So every month we started investing 1,000 rupees in NSC. That time the maturity value after 6 years was 1,601. And then when we completed 6 years, we had to do nothing. The cycle started. We started taking back only that 101 rupees and reinvesting 1,500. Correct. 1,500 rupees reinvestment, take back 101. So that circle continued, and after I retirement, I broke it. I thought now it's enough. Now it is a pension for me. Every month I am getting something from the post office. This is a disciplined investment. Same way you can do for recurring deposit also. If you don't need much money now, but you can definitely put something. At least even recurring deposit is as low as 100 rupees per month. With that also you can start. And then after say 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, if you still don't need the amount, you can take the money and put it into fixed deposit. So this is a disciplined investment. Again, you have to keep a record. You have to watch the due date. There are many apps. If you are good in Excel, then you can put it in Excel also. Put a reminder, calendar. So it will keep on you reminding. But you have, wherever you invest money, traditional way or new ways, you have to look after your money because you are the best monitor, not others. Then comes market oriented, that is mutual fund and shares. I think it is too early for me to ask you whether anybody of you is investing in mutual funds or shares. Anybody? No. Okay. Mutual fund is nothing but collecting money from different investors and putting them into different categories of investment, like not only shares. Share is one, but then there are government bonds, there are other types of securities, there are treasury bills and whatnot. So they use their expertise to manage your money and they give you some return. Dividend, it is called dividend. When it is fixed, it is called interest. In a bank, say if you put 10,000 rupees and if the interest rate is 7%, you will get 700 rupees. But in mutual fund, there is nothing certain. You may get something or you may not get. So that's why it is called dividend. It may be 2%, it may be 10%, sometimes it may be 0, sometimes it may be as high as 25%. So it depends upon the market conditions because the money invested by mutual fund is in markets. And whenever profits are earned, the profits are distributed among the investors. And just like recurring deposit, in mutual funds also, you can systematically, there is a very nice word, systematically invest. Systematic investment plan, SIP. You can put some money into mutual funds in this way also. If you want to know which mutual fund is good, where should I invest, what are your targets, how to meet them with mutual fund investment, you can come to Money Life office. We have experts, but offer prior appointment. They will let you know when you have to come and who will guide you. You can definitely take this advantage. But start these things as early as possible because you are young. The more you keep invested, the better returns you will get after 20-25 years or so when you really need some money. So do go for that. Shares is a tricky area. Some people say investing in shares is loss. Some say no, you can earn profit. Again, disciplined manner investment, studying on our own. Don't fall for some tips. अरे ये शेयर अच्छा ये ले लो, ये 2 महीने में दुगना हो जाएगा. No, don't go for that. Try to learn something on your own. Even Mumbai Stock Exchange, National Stock Exchange, they offer training programs. Go to their website, check it. If you are interested in share trading, first take the trading from these institutions. Then there are charts which you have to study. The movement of shares, the movement of money inflow. Many things like that are there, which you are supposed to learn on your own and then take your own decisions. My experience is that fortunately in shares now you can invest in as low as 1 share. No problem. Earlier there were lots, 25 shares, 50 shares in old days. Now that is not there. You can invest in 1 share also. You can keep for long and then you can withdraw if you are getting handsome returns. Managing future expenses. This is again a more important topic for you because now you are settling in your life. You have certain targets in the future, like you will be getting married, you will have your own children, their education, when they grow up, then their marriage, etc., etc., etc. So you just jot down these targets, think of study your own financial position, check how much money you will require at that time, and accordingly you start investing. That is a good option, and your money will not go anywhere since you have to stick to these targets, you will see that the money is invested in a proper manner to meet your goals. As I told you, set aside fixed amount for each target, monthly, disciplined manner, recurring or SIP of mutual fund, etc. PPF, Public Provident Fund. Most of the time, employers themselves offer this thing. If they are not, then you can open a PPF account in any bank, any post office, anywhere. No problem. You have to put 500 rupees once in a financial year. The interest is tax-free. Investment in PPF is not attachable by anybody, any government authority like income tax or anybody. Nobody can attach investment in PPF. It will be a long-term investment for you. 15 years after you can close the account or you can extend the account. It is a very nice thing for to do. Same with Atal Pension Yojana. There are many features of Atal Pension Yojana. After a specific period, you will start earning something as a pension. These things are available on government website. Even banks are offering like this Atal Pension Yojana. Most of the national banks, they offer Atal Pension Yojana. And the money is directly gone from your account. You need not again write a check or they go to the bank. You need not do anything. Don't fall for Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes, they are always fishy. They offer very, very high returns, unreasonably high returns. Suppose now State Bank is offering 7% to 7.5% interest on fixed deposit. And somebody tells you, I will give you 40% returns in a year. It is unreasonably high, very, very high. How can he do that? What is the industry, what he is running to have such a big profit? So you should be very, very alert. You have to ask questions. What is he doing? Whosoever is calling you, what is his intention? So don't fall for this unless you properly understand what is he is offering and what are the risks involved in that. That is of utmost importance. In such schemes, there is generally a chain, and once it is broken, the whole thing collapses. Suppose I am asked to make 5 members. Those 5 members are again to make another 5 members each. So it keeps multiplying. And somebody stops. Then other members do not get anything, and the whole link, though not immediately, within short time, the whole thing collapses. So keep away from all these types of temptations. Don't go for any schemes like this. Multi-level marketing, same thing like there is a company, I won't name it, but they offer certain shakes which are good for health. Then you are asked, if you sell that shake to somebody, they will offer you 25% commission or 40% commission or whatever it is. The more you go ahead and make more and more members, you start earning huge profits. But once it is broken, then gone. Again, we don't know what is the company or what is its integrity. Nothing we know. We cannot lodge complaint because there is no complaint redressal mechanism in that company itself. What happens to us? Absolutely no idea. If somebody is trying to tempt you in this way, please consult, please do come to Moneylife office. Ask before investing anything and then raising certain complaints. First ask us, first take our advice, whether I should go for this, whether I should go for that. We will definitely do it for you. And that is without any charges. It's free of cost. Insurance. The young age is quite important. The earlier you start is better because the premium, suppose the 1 lakh rupees policy insurance cover is of rupees 1 lakh. What you are paying at this age will be much less, the premium. Suppose you go for that after 10 years, naturally the premium will be high because your age has grown up. So go for insurance It is not an investment, it is for securing your future and your family's future. So it is not an investment, but do go for insurance. I'll tell you the different types of insurance also. Do not expect returns. Generally, agents, when they come to us, we ask, for insurance policy, we ask, what is the return? No, don't go for returns. It is to secure your life. On my death, I will get some amount to my dear ones. That is the main reason to get insured. Not to get 8% or 10% or something like that. Now there are different types of policies. Life insurance, there are many types of insurances. So life insurance itself, we go, there are different plans, endowment plans, term plan, equity related plans, etc., etc. Suppose if you go, to tell an example, a plain endowment plan without profit, then it has the lowest premium and very good cover. If you opt for profit at the end of the policy term, you will have to pay some more premium. Again, in premium also, monthly, quarterly, half yearly, yearly premium are there. Yearly premium is always the best because it is less. Again, disciplined one. Suppose you have got a policy of say 10 lakh rupees and monthly premium or yearly premium you have to pay suppose 12,000 rupees. Now at a specific time of point you don't have that 12,000 rupees. So what simply you do? Open a recurring deposit account of 1,000 rupees and check that the due date of that RD is just prior to the due date of the premium of this policy. So naturally that amount will come handy for you. Again, there will be some interest also. So you will have 12,000 to make a payment of this policy, a premium, plus you have some interest. So in this way you can go. Better go for yearly premium. If really there are certain problems, then only go for monthly or half yearly premium. There are salary saving schemes also. From your salary only the premium is getting deducted. But again it is little bit higher. And if you change the employment, again there is headache. Write a form and contact your agent, LIC agent, etc. So instead of that, better go for yearly premium. Term plan. This is a plan where you don't get anything. There is no profit, nothing. Suppose 1 lakh term plan, 1 lakh rupees term plan is there. On maturity, actually you don't get anything. But before maturity, something goes wrong with you. Suppose I die, then the amount is given to my family. So it is a term plan. It is totally different from our regular insurance plans. So try to understand the difference between term plan and other types of insurance plans. Excuse me. Then there are policies related to share market or money market, whatever it is. The thing is that your agent never tells clearly the terms of this particular policy. Two, three important things are there. In the initial stages, when you pay certain premium, some portion is taken away from that premium towards management of the funds. There are different charges also. So if you pay 1,000 rupees, the whole 1,000 rupees are not invested into the market, but part of it, say 990 rupees or something like that, that is invested in the market. And your agent is supposed to reveal all these things to you before taking out the policy. So you insist on this particular thing. There is a brochure. Companies are definitely giving all these things, but agents don't tell us many times these things to us because they want to earn commission. That's why they don't reveal everything. So do ask these things. Again, their value changes as per the market. Today you have invested 1,000 rupees, the NAV that time, NAV is net asset value, which is in terms of mutual fund or general share market instruments. If you have invested at say 10 rupees NAV, tomorrow the NAV may go down or up. Next time you pay the premium, again the NAV may be up or down. And after the policy end of the policy term, what will be the NAV, and that much amount you will get. I'll tell you one classic example. Though it is not related to insurance, there is one scheme by Unit Trust of India, the oldest mutual fund, MEP 93. 93 or 92? 93 or 92? MEP 92. 92. What happened is that earlier same scheme was there by Unit Trust of India, and that time the market started rising like anything, and on maturity the investors got a fantastic fabulous amount. So all investors were happy. Taking that advantage, the agents of Unit Trust of India, who were just not knowing anything about the share market, started canvassing this new scheme, saying that it will double within 5 years or 6 years, the term of that particular scheme. It did not happen. People did not get even the invested amount. It was much less than that. So agents, my experience that agents are not well versed with the market issues. You have to keep on inquiring. What are the ups and downs? What is the NAV? What are the charges out of my premium, etc., etc. At least first 3 to 4 years, there are certain charges out of the premium, and do demand from your insurance agent. And if you don't want these headaches, go for simple plans, endowment. No headache, absolutely no headache. Pay the premium from your bank, automatic payment. Now LIC insists on NEFT. All the other insurance companies also insist on NEFT. Your premium is gone through NEFT. Your claims after maturity, they are settled through NEFT. Absolutely no headache. Buyer beware versus utmost good faith. Indians don't like to insure, think it's waste of money if there is no claim. This is not only true not only as far as life insurance covered, but also for medical insurance. For medical insurance, if I am paying some premium, if nothing happens, I should not think that my premium is wasted. I should feel happy, but it doesn't happen. And again, we try to keep on telling the agent, see, there is no claim. You please see, I get some discount or something like that. So please try to understand these basic things. Premium wasted, as I told you, premium wasted in a year is good news. You are healthy, nothing to worry about your health. Forget premium wasted, no problem. But keep on premium further, keep on running your policy. Don't break it. Again, focusing insurance is not an investment. It is money for unforeseen contingencies. Anything may happen tomorrow, even next second, we don't know. Anything can happen. So, think that insurance is for contingencies to secure your life. Getting your claim reimbursed is key to choosing a right insurance. Claims, there are two types. Again, for life insurance, the claim is only of two types. One is on maturity, when you get it back. Another, if death takes place, unfortunate death, then it is given to the whole amount is given to the family member or our nominee, whomsoever we have nominated, he gets the amount. As far as medical insurance is concerned, if we have to get operated for some sickness or something like that, any type of, there are many critical illness or issues, the terms and conditions are specifically mentioned in the insurance policy, medical insurance policy. Exclusions, inclusions, which are included, which are excluded, what is the definition, what happens if the claim is not settled within a specific period. Many rules are there. Do read that. And if you don't feel satisfied, suppose you have received the policy, you don't feel satisfied with the terms and conditions, you can return the policy within 15 days of the receipt of the policy. They just recover a small amount at charge, 100, 200, 500 rupees, and they return your amount. But why to go for that? You make your insurance agent answer all these issues, and then only choose the right policy. For you also, you will get guidance from us if you really need this. Medical insurance, I would like to say there are different fractions. Some policies say, suppose your cover is 1 lakh rupees. If you get operated, you will get maximum up to 1 lakh. That is overall condition. Whereas some other policies, they give bifurcation. Ambulance, maximum cover this much. Room rent, maximum cover this much. Then sometimes reports are there, certain checkups, maximum amount this much. They bifurcate in such a way that it is some part of your whole policy. So this also you have to check. If you are getting a better policy, go for that policy, because there are many insurance companies. You need not wait go for only one insurance company. Make comparison and then choose your right policy. Actually, nowadays employers also take up group insurance policy, medical, sort of mediclaim only. If you are already having that, no issue. If you don't have that, take your own policy. There are different types of insurance also. Auto insurance, if you are having a vehicle, go for auto insurance. Everything should be insured. Every property, whatever you your belongings, they should be insured. Your home, your cycle, your bike, everything must be insured, because nobody knows what happens. So it is better to go for this. Even property insurance. Property, if you are going for a loan, banks do insist on insurance for your housing. Some banks are insisting that you should take insurance only for a specific company. It is not like that. It is upon you to get that insurance from any other company. Life insurance. Not only life, but you should have medical insurance also, personal accident insurance also, property insurance, and travel if you are traveling abroad. Or nowadays also, if you go book a ticket, IRCTC, on website, it recovers 92 paise whenever you book. Of course, they ask you whether you want to go for that or not. 92 paise, very small amount. It's sort of group insurance only. Go for that. वो अपना कुछ 92 पैसे से अपना कुछ बिगाड़ने वाला नहीं है. Go for that. Medical insurance, I would just like to tell you one thing. Redressing complaint on medical insurance is a very hectic issue. I had a lady who got operated for her uterus. She had asked the particular insurance company whether I would get the claim or not. The insurance company had said, yes, you will get everything. When she actually got operated, she did not receive. Her claim was refused by the third party. There is another registrar who settles all these things. So they refused the claim. So I first read the complete insurance policy. I read the terms and conditions. I read the definitions. I also read the penalty clause, and I drafted a letter for her. Then within 8 days, she got the insurance. So as I told you, you have to be alert on all these issues and get redress your problems. Five truly dangerous words. Tell me where to sign. Problem is that we don't read anything. Again, by going my experience, I have come across complainants who produce a small piece of paper called a receipt. You have been allocated flat number A12, and thank you for your check number so and so drawn on this bank for rupees 4 lakhs. Where is the agreement? Where are the legal papers? Nothing and nothing and nothing. When you go to some vegetable market, buy some small vegetable, we also check whether it's okay or not. And then only we buy it. But for paying 4 lakhs rupees and 5 lakhs rupees, we just don't take this minimum care. There are a lot of problems in this property section. There are builders who are constantly trying to deceive you. They are not paying your money. They are not keeping their promises. They promise that by this date the flat will be handed over. Actually, there is no construction at all. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, nothing is happening. And when people come to us, it is just a cheat, simple paper. There is no even revenue stamp on that. 4 lakh rupees, when you are receiving 4 lakh, at least some revenue stamp has to be there. But people, I don't know whether they are not applying their common sense or whether they are not aware or what not. We are trying to, even on TVs also, we are all seeing Jago Grahak Jago, Jago Grahak Jago. But I don't know what is happening. It is totally different from what is happening in US or other Western states. They are very, very alert. Every consumer is very alert. But here, in spite of best efforts with a handful of consumer organizations, it is not happening. So you have to keep yourself aware of all these things. Will, you know, will, anybody knows what is will? Mrityu Patra, Ichha Patra. Don't think that is too early for you. Right now, even senior citizens, they are afraid. Mrityu Patra, oh, why should I go for that? But then if there is only one, one child, then there is no problem. Everything will go to him only. But if there are more than one, they should keep everything in writing. What is my property? Where I have invested? Where are my bank accounts? What are my fixed deposits? Many things are there. So they have to keep everything in writing. They have to specifically say, out of this property, how much portion should go to whom, in percentage or otherwise. But not ancestral property. Ancestral property is a little bit different thing, but at least whatever they are having, they should keep in writing. It doesn't require any registration. Having registration is better, but it's not compulsory. You don't require any lawyer also for that. Simply taking 2 signatures from your doctor and one from your friend who is aware of your overall family conditions. So even for you also, there is nothing wrong for going to write a will. Don't feel afraid of that. Mortgage. Generally, mortgage is keeping our property against a loan, handing over the title. Title means the ownership of the property to the lender, bank or housing finance company or whosoever it is. That is called mortgage, because that should be secured. So whenever we are taking any housing loan, it is mortgage. On immovable property, it is mortgage. Other thing, it is hypothecation, like car or bike. It is hypothecated to the bank. Any immovable property, you are going for a farmhouse, you are going for a non-agricultural land or plot, something like that, then it is a mortgage. So you have to keep that mortgage to the bank from whom you are taking loan. There is another type of mortgage, reverse. It is called reverse mortgage. Once you are settled in life, or some senior citizens, they are owning some home, they can go to a bank and they get the terms and conditions for reverse mortgage. How should they go for that? What happens is that they get a certain amount of loan, specific loan, and certain amount like installment. It is fixed by the bank. Once the period is over, see, the person has not to pay need not pay anything on that particular reverse mortgage. Once the period is over, the original owner, he can think or he can opt either to take the property back or give it back. There are many certain small things in a bank. You can definitely go to there for reverse mortgage and ask them. Senior citizens, if your parents are there, you are having some more than one particular home, you can go to the bank and ask what are the conditions, terms and conditions. This particular, let me tell you again, don't sign before reading anything. Read it, try to understand it, and then only put your signatures, not otherwise. What you can do is control expenses. Don't unnecessarily spend. Really, is it necessary? This is called sustainable lifestyle, which we are coming right now. Is this word hurting you? Yes? If it is hurting you, I am sorry. But many times we do that. I have also done that just to create impression. Don't do that. Once in a while it's okay, but not every time. Because somebody may be just extracting something from you just for the sake of enjoyment, not otherwise. Do not unnecessarily buy costly goods. Just if you want to particularly buy particular thing, just take a round in the market where you are getting the good thing, at what price, negotiate. वो 100 रुपया बोलता है तो 100 रुपया दे के बाहर आओ. No, don't do that. Check your requirements, check whether they are meeting, and then only go for that particular good. It may be even at less price, not necessarily for that particular what you heard on the first shop. The other shop may be offering you a handsome discount. Mobiles particularly. There are mobiles of 40,000, 50,000 and whatnot. Do you really need that type of mobile? Or you just need a simple mobile? There are certain market representatives. Since their job is of that type of nature, they can't sit on a computer, check the mails, etc., etc. So they need a specific mobile with some data pack, all the email facilities, or even doc files, storing doc files in their mobile. Okay. Do I really need that? No. My job is not like that. I can have a home PC, I can store everything. So I can have only a small phone, say about 7,000 to 8,000 rupees, having some limited facilities, no problem. Why should I go for that 40,000, 50,000? Not necessary. It is unnecessary wastage, unproductive expenditure. Whenever you control your expenses in any manner, it is as good as saving money. As we see, save a drop is again to save water. If one drop saved, that much water is saved. What we see on TV or even in newspapers. So we have to control expenses, which will come handy for us in our future plans. Sustainable and disciplined lifestyle. Buy only if you need. As I told you, going to see a movie in a multiplex and then we see something and then we get tempted to buy that thing. Do we really need that? If you don't go for that. Always keep in mind your income. If your income permits, it's okay. If it is beyond your income, don't expend. Again, do not overspend. As important as all these things, do not overspend. Maintain some discipline. I am not talking of military discipline, but the normal discipline. Okay, because in home also we see, कभी चाय भी पिया तो जाके रख देना, धो देना. These are the minimum things which are required to do in home. So at least that discipline you maintain in any type of sector, financial or wherever it is. Do things on your own if you can, if you do have time. Ironing or putting our own button, something like many times we told mommy or papa, please do this. Try to do these things on your own. Exercise and good food, utmost importance, as we are coming to the last this one. Do have regular exercise. Take out some time. You can check your WhatsApp during travel and etc. also, but for exercise you need to have some time. Surya Namaskar, my experience, it is the best type of exercise. It has stopped my backache completely. I was having terrible back pain about 2 years back. Now it is gone. I did not go to any doctor. Just regularly started doing Surya Namaskar. As far as possible, have homely food. I know it is difficult, but just see if you can go for that. Have your own tiffin box at your office. Eat fruits instead of drinking juice. because fruits contain fiber. So don't go for juice. Eat more and more fruits. That will help you and for your health also. Give some time to your family. There should be some bonding. Your parents will naturally would like to have you at least at the time of dinner. You can have some chit-chatting, sharing certain of your good experience in the whole day, or sharing some jokes, etc. So the atmosphere will be very light. So these are the light moments. You can go for that. And so, thank you for listening to me patiently. Thank you.
So, if there are any questions, I'm sure there are a lot of concepts that were discussed here and were told to you. So, I'm sure you might have certain questions for Mr. Datar. तुम्ही मराठीतनं प्रश्न विचारले तरी चालेल, हिंदीतनं विचारले तरी चालेल, इंग्लिशमधनं विचारले तरी चालेल. तिन्ही भाषांमधनं प्रश्न विचारू शकता आणि सर त्याला उत्तर देतील. So, how many of you understand what is RD? रिकरिंग डिपॉझिट म्हणजे काय सांगा. रिकरिंग डिपॉझिट
रिकरिंग डिपॉझिट म्हणजे दुसरंच काही नाही, महिन्याला एक ठराविक रक्कम बाजूला काढायची आणि ती त्या अकाउंटमध्ये टाकायची. फिक्स डिपॉझिट सारखंच असतं. फिक्स डिपॉझिटमध्ये काय करतो आपण, लमसम टाकतो 10,000 15,000 20,000 असं काहीतरी. आपल्याकडे शक्य नसेल तर दर महिन्याला किमान 100 रुपयाने पण आपण ही गुंतवणूक चालू करू शकतो. हे तुमच्या परस्पर बँक खात्यातून सुरू राहील, तुम्हाला ते लक्षात ठेवायची पण गरज नाही. दर महिन्याला 100 रुपये जाणार, त्यांच्यावरचं व्याज त्याच्यातच जमा होत राहणार आणि 1 वर्ष 2 वर्ष 3 वर्ष करता तुम्ही 10 वर्षापर्यंत सुद्धा हे ठेवू शकता. पण हा पिरियड तुम्हाला यू हॅव टू यूज इट इनिशियली, किती वर्षासाठी आपल्याला ठेवायचं आहे. आणि मग ॲट द एंड ऑफ द पिरियड ती मॅच्युरिटी व्हॅल्यू किती असेल ते रिकरिंग डिपॉझिटचं पासबुक मिळतं, त्याच्यावरती लिहिलेली असते, तर ती तुम्हाला मिळू शकते. मी मगाशी जसं सांगितलं की ती LIC प्रीमियम 12,000 रुपये समजा वर्षाला असेल तर दर महिन्याला तुम्ही रिकरिंग डिपॉझिटमध्ये 1,000 रुपये उघडा खातं. तुमच्या बँकेच्या खात्यातून परस्पर पैसे रिकरिंग डिपॉझिटमध्ये जातील आणि ड्यू डेटला तुम्हाला 12,000 रुपये अधिक वरचं व्याज मिळेल. ओके, रिकरिंग डिपॉझिट दर महिन्याला ठराविक पद्धतीने गुंतवायची रक्कम फॉर ए स्पेसिफिक पिरियड म्हणजे रिकरिंग डिपॉझिट.
सो मला असं वाटतं तुम्ही जरी आत्ता नोकरीला लागलेले नसाल तरी तुम्हाला एक सर्टन अमाऊंट पॉकेट मनी म्हणून मिळते. वाय नॉट टू स्पेअर अबाउट 100 रुपीज 500 रुपीज सेपरेटली अँड ओपन अ रिकरिंग अकाउंट अँड टेस्ट द मंत्रा ऑफ सेविंग, राईट? सो बिगेस्ट बेनिफिट विथ रिकरिंग डिपॉझिट, FD असेल तर तुम्हाला डायरेक्ट लमसम जाऊन सरांनी सांगितलं त्याप्रमाणे गुंतवायला लागतात. एक 50,000 रुपये तुमच्याकडे असतील, 10,000 रुपये असतील तर FDमध्ये गुंतवता. रिकरिंग डिपॉझिटमध्ये तुम्ही ठराविक रक्कमच तुमच्याकडे असेल तर ती स्टार्ट करू शकता आणि मिळताना मात्र तुम्हाला FDचाच इंटरेस्ट रेट मिळतो. सो दॅट्स अ बेनिफिट ऑफ इट. आणखीन काही प्रश्न कोणाला? हां,
एक जस्ट छोटीशी एक गोष्ट सांगतो मी बिफोर आय फॉरगेट. एनी बँक डिपॉझिट इज हॅविंग हायेस्ट लिक्विडिटी. तुम्ही आज डिपॉझिट केलं कुठलंही बँक FD रिकरिंग डिपॉझिट एनी टाईप ऑफ डिपॉझिट, तुम्हाला दुसऱ्या दिवशी गरज लागली यू कॅन ब्रेक दिस अँड टेक द मनी.
हां, पहिलं त्यांना माईक. अच्छा, हां, ठीक.
सर, तुम्ही आत्ता 2 वे सांगितलेत इन्व्हेस्ट करायचे. एक ट्रॅडिशनल वे म्हणजे पोस्ट सेविंग स्कीम्स आणि ते RD FD. तर सेफर साईड कोणती असेल? म्युच्युअल फंड्समध्ये इन्व्हेस्ट करायचं का आपले ट्रॅडिशनल वेजच अंगीकारायचे?
तुम्हाला जर मार्केटबद्दल काही माहिती नसेल तर सध्या तो धोका घेऊ नका. सध्या तुम्ही ट्रॅडिशनल वेमध्येच जा. आणि मार्केटमध्ये गुंतवणूक करायची असेल तर तुम्ही मनी लाईफ किंवा अशा प्रकारच्या संस्था असतात तिकडे समजून घ्या की ह्याच्यात काय धोके आहेत, काय आपल्याला ट्रॅक ठेवावा लागतो आणि त्याच्यानंतरच गुंतवणूक करायची की नाही हे ठरवा. कारण त्याच्यात थोडेफार धोके, पर्टिक्युलरली तुम्ही जर 1,000 रुपये आत्ता टाकले असतील तर त्याची किंमत 900 रुपये व्हायची शक्यता असते, 800 व्हायची शक्यता असते किंवा कदाचित 1200 सुद्धा व्हायची शक्यता असते. मार्केट जसं अप अँड डाऊन होतं, मध्ये तुम्ही वाचलं असेल पेपरमध्ये इट रीच्ड ऑल टाईम हाय, पण ते आता थोडंसं खाली आलेलं आहे. तर जेव्हा ते हाय होतं तेव्हा तुम्ही काही विकत घेतलं असेल, नॅचरली ते आत्ता कमी झालं असणार त्याची किंमत. तर ते धोके आहेत, ते समजत नाहीत लोकांना आणि दुर्दैवाने इन्शुरन्स एजंट्सनासुद्धा. इव्हन म्युच्युअल फंड जे विकणारे लोक आहेत ना, त्यांनासुद्धा ह्या गोष्टी नीट समजावून सांगता येत नाही असा माझा अनुभव आहे. तर तुम्ही मनी लाईफच्या इकडे या की अशा कुठल्या ऑर्गनायझेशनचं तिकडे जाऊन नीट समजावून घ्या आणि थोडा रिस्क घ्यायची तयारी असेल तर अवश्य गुंतवा.
इन्व्हेस्टमेंटच्या आधी तुमची सेव्हिंग्स असायला लागतात. तर सेव्हिंग्स बनवण्यासाठी आधी तुम्हाला एक कॉर्पस तयार करायला लागेल. तो बनवण्यासाठी तुम्हाला ट्रॅडिशनल मार्ग हा सरांनी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे खूप उपयुक्त आहे. जेव्हा तुमचा एक ठराविक कॉर्पस तयार होईल आणि तुम्हाला मार्केटमध्ये इन्व्हेस्ट करायची रिस्क किंवा जोखीम ही लक्षात येईल, तेव्हा तुम्ही इन्व्हेस्टमेंटकडे जाऊ शकता आणि त्यावेळेला मग तुम्ही एक्सपर्ट ॲडवाईस घेऊन काही इन्व्हेस्टमेंट करू शकता. पुढचा क्वेश्चन इकडे आहे, निविद ना?
हां सर, तुम्ही म्युच्युअल फंडमध्ये तुम्ही NAV म्हणून काहीतरी म्हणाल, तर ती नक्की कन्सेप्ट काय आहे?
NAV म्हणजे नेट असेट व्हॅल्यू. तुमचे जे युनिट्स आहेत, हे युनिट म्हणजे 10 रुपयात एक युनिट साधारणतः पकडला जातो. तर जेव्हा तुम्ही म्युच्युअल फंडात खरेदी करता तेव्हा
मी सांगू?
व्हॅल्यू जरा हे
हां. सो काय असतं की शेअर मार्केटमध्ये तुम्ही इन्व्हेस्ट करता तेव्हा एक शेअर तुम्हाला मिळतो, बरोबर? त्याची शेअर व्हॅल्यू असते. इकडे काय होतं, तुम्ही म्युच्युअल फंडामध्ये जेव्हा इन्व्हेस्ट करता तेव्हा तुम्हाला युनिट अलोकेट केली जातात आणि तुमचा सगळा पैसा जो आहे तो शेअरमध्ये वेगवेगळ्या स्कीममध्ये इन्व्हेस्ट केला जातो. त्यामुळे तुमच्या पर युनिटची टोटल इन्व्हेस्टमेंट व्हॅल्यू ऑफ दॅट फंड डिवायडेड बाय नंबर ऑफ युनिट्स इज युअर NAV. सो नेट असेट व्हॅल्यू ऑफ युअर पर्टिक्युलर युनिट. जसं शेअर हे एक युनिट असतं तसं म्युच्युअल फंडामध्ये तुमचं एक युनिट वेगळं असतं. तर त्याची जी नेट असेट व्हॅल्यू आहे ती त्या दिवशी कॅल्क्युलेट होते. आणि समजा तुम्ही आज म्युच्युअल फंडाचं युनिट विकत घेतली, समजा 100 युनिट विकत घेतली आणि 2 महिन्यांनी तुम्हाला विकायचे आहेत, तर आजचा NAV आणि त्या दिवसाचा NAV इंटू नंबर ऑफ युनिट्स दॅट यू होल्ड इज युअर प्राईस.
सर आणि आणखीन एक क्वेश्चन आहे, शेअर जसं आपण म्हणतो शेअर मार्केट आहे, तसं करन्सी मार्केट वगैरे जे काय असतं म्हणजे क्रूड ऑइल वगैरे, त्याच्याबद्दल ते सेफ आहेत का ऑप्शन?
खूप टेक्निकल गोष्टी आहेत त्या.
करन्सी मार्केट खूप पुढची गोष्ट झाली. इव्हन फ्युचर ऑप्शन्स वगैरे खूप पुढची गोष्ट झाली. त्याच्यावरही साधं शेअर मार्केट आपण नीट समजून घेतलं पाहिजे. तर एकदम कुठेही उडी मारू नका. किती तुम्हाला त्याच्यात इंटरेस्ट असला तरी बेसिक शेअर मार्केट आधी समजून घ्या, त्याच्यापर्यंत जाऊ नका. करन्सी वगैरे सगळं आहे पण त्याच्यात रिस्क पण तेवढे आहेत. कारण काय होतं की जे तुम्हाला फशी पाडतात, आपण म्हणतो की आम्ही तुमच्या वतीने व्यवहार करू, त्यांना कमिशन मिळत राहतं आणि आपले जे पैसे गुंतवले असतात ते मात्र कधी नाहीच होतात, ते पत्ता लागत नाही, अशी परिस्थिती झालेली आहे. तेव्हा शक्यतो तुम्ही मूळ शेअर मार्केट समजल्याखेरीज पुढे जाऊ नका.
गणित
तर मला वाटतं त्यांना कुठे रिस्क वाढतं आहे आणि कुठे रिस्क कमी आहे हा थोडंसं अंदाज येईल.
रिस्क आणि रिटर्न अतिशय चांगला त्यांनी मुद्दा उपस्थित केलेला आहे. या दोघांचं जे प्रपोर्शन आहे ते बरोबर रिव्हर्स आहे. जेवढा रिस्क जास्त तेवढे रिटर्न मिळण्याची शक्यता पण जास्त असते आणि जेवढा रिस्क कमी तेवढे रिटर्न्स कमी. बँकेतलं डिपॉझिट रिस्क हा जवळजवळ नाहीच, पण त्याच्यामुळे रिटर्न्स जे आहेत ते 60% किंवा 6.5% सुद्धा खाली आलेले आहेत. सेव्हिंग 4% आहे वर्षानुवर्ष. म्हणून जेवढे हाय रिटर्न्स आपले, जेवढे लो रिटर्न्स तेवढं जेवढं सिक्युअर्ड तेवढे लो रिटर्न्स. बँकेची डिपॉझिट सगळी सिक्युअर्ड म्हणून लो रिटर्न्स. पण शेअर मार्केटमध्ये रिस्क खूप हाय आहे आणि काय होईल ते सांगता येत नाही. मार्केट एका विशिष्ट पॉईंटला पोचलं होतं, वाटेल तिथनं खाली येईल, पण ते अजून वर जात गेलं. ज्यावेळेला त्यांनी गुंतवले ते त्यांना चांगले फायदा पण झाला, पण त्या पॉईंटनंतर ते खाली आलं. त्यामुळे हा रिस्क आहे. विशिष्ट पॉईंटला ज्यांनी गुंतवलं होतं ते इथून इथे गेल्यानंतर रिस्क घेतला होता, रिटर्न्स चांगले मिळाले. पण इथे ज्यांनी गुंतवलं रिस्क घेतला, रिटर्न्स खाली आले. तर ह्याच्यात स्पेसिफिक असं काही हार्ड अँड फास्ट रूल सांगता येणार नाही की खूप इतका हा रिस्क असेल तर किती रिटर्न मिळणार, असं काहीच सांगता येणार नाही. ते डिपेंड्स मार्केटच्या कंडिशन्स काय आहेत आणि आता ग्लोबलायझेशनमुळे जगात काय होत आहे, तेलाच्या किमती पडल्या आहेत तर काय होईल. आता गंमत एक रुपया वर्सेस डॉलर जर स्ट्रॉंग झाला तर IT कंपन्यांच्या शेअरचे भाव वाढतात. कारण त्यांचा एक्सपोर्ट असतो आणि त्यामुळे डॉलर्स मिळच्या संदर्भात त्यांना मिळणारे पैसे रुपीजमध्ये हे जास्त असतात. पण ह्याच्या उलट डॉलर जर वीक झाला, मध्ये काही महिने डॉलर वीक होत राहिला होता, तर त्याच्यामुळे आय टी कंपन्याचे भाव कमी होत होते. पण इम्पोर्ट ओरिएंटेड ज्या कंपन्या असतात त्यांचे भाव वाढतात. ते हे असं वेगळं प्रपोर्शन असतं. त्यामुळे आपण स्पेसिफिक असं काही एखाद्या विशिष्ट गोष्टीत सांगू शकत नाही. अख्खं शेअर मार्केट वाढलं तरी त्यातलं मिड कॅप कमी येऊ शकतो किंवा लार्ज कॅप वाढू शकतात किंवा सगळं शेअर मार्केट जरी 200-300 डाऊन असलं तरी माझे विशिष्ट शेअर वर असू शकतात. हे काहीही होऊ शकतं. त्यामुळे हे शेवटी अनुभव घेऊनच करायच्या ह्या गोष्टी आहेत आणि ते अनुभवसुद्धा एकदम म्हणजे तोंड भाजेल अशा प्रकारे नको, तर थोडा धीराने करून सगळ्या ह्या गोष्टी करायच्या आहेत.
शेवटचे 1-2 प्रश्न घेऊया. कोणाला आहे का? आम्ही एक मिनटं माईक येतोय म्हणजे सगळ्यांना ऐकू येईल.
शेअर्स किंवा म्युच्युअल फंड्समध्ये आपण जे इन्व्हेस्ट करतो त्याच्यात जनरली म्हणतात की कॅल्क्युलेटेड रिस्क घ्यावी. तर कॅल्क्युलेटेड रिस्क एक्झॅक्टली ही टर्म काय आहे आणि कशी कॅल्क्युलेट करायची, रिस्क फॅक्टर कसा कॅल्क्युलेट करायचा?
मी थोडं एक वेगळं उदाहरण सांगतो. मगाशी सरांनी सांगितलं योगेशांबद्दल की त्यांनी स्पीक एशिया त्याचं एक हे दिलं होतं. माझ्या एका मित्राने ती स्कीम माझ्याकडे आणलेली होती आणि त्यावेळी 10,000 रुपये गुंतवायचे होते. मला 100% माहिती होतं की हे गडबड आहे, ह्याच्यात आपल्याला काही होईल, काही सांगता येत नाही. पण मी 10,000 रुपये ठीक आहे म्हटलं, बघूया, फुकट गेले तर 10,000 रुपयेच फुकट जातील. मग तो घेतला, तो कॅल्क्युलेटेड रिस्क. त्यातले 6,000 मी हे सबमिट केला, सर्व्हे सबमिट केला, 6,000 परत मिळाले, 4,000 गेले. तर ह्याला कॅल्क्युलेटेड रिस्क ह्याला म्हणतात. आणि शेवटी कसं आहे की आज गुंतवले तर उद्या लगेच वाढलं आहे का, ही आपली एक प्रवृत्ती असते किंवा मानसिकता असते, ती योग्य नाही. चांगली जर कंपनी असेल, चांगला म्युच्युअल फंड असेल, तर ओव्हर द पिरियड तो चांगलं हे देणारच. पण परत मगाशी म्हटलं होतं की ग्लोबलायझेशनमुळे कधी काय होईल सांगता येत नाही, तर ह्या सगळ्याचा परिणाम होत असतो. त्या कॅल्क्युलेटरमध्ये तुम्ही किती धोका, समजा तुम्ही 5,000 रुपयाचा तोटा पत्करू शकत असाल आणि ते 5,000 रुपये तुम्ही एका विशिष्ट स्कीममध्ये गुंतवले तर त्याला कॅल्क्युलेटर्स म्हणायला हरकत नाही.
सो बेसिक याच्या मागचं आहे की जो पैसा गेला तरी तुम्हाला पिंच होणार नाही, ती तुमची रिस्क व्हॅल्यू. सरांच्या बाबतीत आता या स्कीममध्ये 10,000 रुपये त्यांना गेले असते तरी चालले असते, ती त्यांची त्या स्कीमपुरती रिस्क व्हॅल्यू होती. सो जेव्हा तुम्ही असं एक बॉटम लाईन करून हे करता तेव्हा तुमची ती तेवढी रिस्क अपेटाईट होते. हां तुम्ही
हॅलो, हां, कंपनी थ्रू जो आपल्याला इन्शुरन्स मिळतो तो समजा मी कंपनी समजा चेंज केली किंवा जॉब सोडला तर तो इन्शुरन्सपर्यंत काय होतो, इन्शुरन्स मला दुसऱ्या कंपनीचा विकत पर्सनली घ्यावा लागतो की त्या कंपनीचा मला त्याच कंपनीचा कंटिन्यू करू शकतो का, हा एक प्रश्न आहे. आणि समजा मला असं वाटलं की तो दुसरा प्रश्न असा की तो इन्शुरन्स मला आवडला नाही त्या कंपनीचा, तर मी चेंज केल्यावर काय फरक पडेल त्याच्यामध्ये वगैरे?
कंपनी जेव्हा केव्हा कुठला इन्शुरन्स घेते, एक सगळ्या गोष्टी लक्षात ठेवा. 2 गोष्टी, एक तर कंपनी इन्शुरन्स आणि काही बँका तुम्ही त्यांच्याकडे सेव्हिंग्ज अकाउंट उघडल्या की देणारा इन्शुरन्स, हे सगळं हे ग्रुप इन्शुरन्सचे ही कल्पना आहे. आणि ज्या ग्रुप इन्शुरन्स असतो त्या साहजिक प्रीमियम अगदी कमी असतं आणि त्याच्यात फायदे पण वेगळे दिलेले असतात. तर त्यासाठी तुम्ही आधी कंपनीचा इन्शुरन्स जो आहे त्याचं प्रीमियम किती कंपनी देते आणि त्याचे फायदे काय हे तुम्ही समजून घ्या. कारण तुम्ही जर एकट्याने इन्शुरन्स काढायचा असेल ना त्याच प्रकारचा, तर तुमचं प्रीमियम बरंच हाय असू शकतं, ते तितकं कमी प्रीमियम असणार नाही. तर जसं मी मगाशी रेल्वेचं उदाहरण दिलं, तो ॲक्सिडेंट टाईपचा इन्शुरन्स होता, तर 92 पैसे इतकं. कारण रेल्वेने लाखो लोक रोज प्रवास करतात, तर 92 पैसे म्हणजे काहीच नाही. पण हे 92 पैसे गुणिले हे लाखो लोक, म्हणजे केवढे पैसे त्या इन्शुरन्स कंपनीला मिळत असतील हे लक्षात घ्या. म्हणून ग्रुप इन्शुरन्स मला तुम्ही देत असलेलं प्रीमियम किंवा तुमची कंपनी जर तुमच्या वतीने प्रीमियम द्यायचं असेल तर ते, आणि जेव्हा तुम्ही प्रत्यक्ष घ्यायला जाता त्याच्यात फरक पडतो. परत तुम्ही जेव्हा दुसऱ्या कंपनीत जाता तर ती कंपनी तेच इन्शुरन्स तो प्रॉडक्ट ऑफर करेल असं नाही, त्यांच्या काहीतरी वेगळे रूल्स असतील किंवा ते रूल नसतील किंवा ते देणारसुद्धा नाहीत. तर मग अशा तुम्हाला त्या कंपनीला विचारावं लागेल की मी ह्या कंपनीतून जॉब चेंजवर करतो आहे, पण ही पॉलिसी मला कंटिन्यू करायचं आहे, त्याच्या टर्म्स अँड कंडिशन्स काय असतील. मग त्या नीट समजावून घेऊन तुम्ही पुढे कंटिन्यू करणार असाल नाही करणार ते त्याच्यावरती अवलंबून आहे.
So when you leave your job, you leave your insurance policy to sum it up. And next job, you get a new insurance policy. So at your professional stage, it is not required to own your own medical. But at our age, wherein we are about 20 years of experience, we need to have a buffer also for medical insurance. So we get our own individual policies as well.
सर आता तुम्ही वारंवार बोलताय की मार्केट कंडिशन्स म्हणजे आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल फंड्स वगैरे असतील तर समजा मी फंड्समध्ये इन्व्हेस्ट करायचं आहे किंवा मी केल्याच्या नंतर मला मार्केट कंडिशन्सबरोबर अपडेट राहायचं असेल तर मग त्यासाठी काय वेज आहेत मार्केट
राहायचं.
कंडिशन्स आता तुम्ही जे म्हणताय ना की
Money life
मला हां
मनी लाईफ वाचा.
नाही तोही
नाही.
राईट उपाय आहे पण अजून काही असेल की ज्या थ्रू मी अपडेटेड राहीन म्हणजे ही मार्केट कंडिशन आत्ता डाऊन आहे किंवा अप आहे मग हे कसं कळेल
ज्या म्युच्युअल फंडात तुम्ही इन्व्हेस्ट करता तर त्याच्या वेबसाईटवरती ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी कळतातच. त्याची NAV किती आहे, काय त्याचा परफॉर्मन्स कसा आहे, इव्हन तशा प्रकारचे इतर म्युच्युअल फंडचे परफॉर्मन्स कसे आहेत हे तुम्ही हल्ली वेबवरून सगळं चेक करू शकता. आणि मार्केट म्हणाल तर तुम्ही NSE किंवा BSEची वेबसाईट आहे त्याच्यातून मार्केट कंडिशन त्याच्या वेगळ्या न्यूज पण येत असतात, वर्ल्ड लेव्हलच्या पण न्यूज येत असतात. तर हे सगळं तुम्ही जर सिस्टमॅटिक अभ्यास करत असेल तर वेबशिवाय पर्याय नाही सध्या तरी.
त्याच्यामध्ये 2 आस्पेक्ट्स असतात. एक सरांनी सांगितलं त्याप्रमाणे वेबसाईट आणि याच्यावरनं अपडेट. एक फंडामेंटल्स नावाचा प्रकार असतो. सो फंडामेंटल्स अबाउट द स्टॉक, फंडामेंटल्स अबाउट द मार्केट्स आणि दुसरा टेक्निकल स्टॉक चार्टिंग असतं. टेक्निकलमध्ये चार्टिंग होतं. सो त्या चार्टिंगमध्ये टेक्निकल फक्त फॅक्टर्स कन्सिडर केले जातात. त्यात कुठली कंडिशन तयार झाले, वेदर इट इज अ बाय कॉल ऑर अ सेल कॉल, 52 वीक्स हाय आहे का किंवा 40 DMA ॲव्हरेज वगैरे असे सगळे पॅरामीटर्स असतात त्याच्यामध्ये. सो टेक्निकल साईड आणि फंडामेंटल साईडमध्ये तुम्ही मार्केट कंडिशन्स, त्याच्यामध्ये कॉम्प्लिकेटेड फॅक्टर्स असतात. पॉलिटिकल डेव्हलपमेंट्स असतात, कंपनी डेव्हलपमेंट्स असतात, फायनान्शियल डेव्हलपमेंट्स असतात, टॅक्सेस अँड डेव्हलपमेंट्स असतात. तो हे सगळं जेव्हा तुम्ही एकदा तुमचे फंडामेंटल्स पक्के झाले की मग तुम्ही त्या गोष्टी समजू शकता.
एक थोडं सप्लिमेंट असं करतो मी. पेपरमध्ये आपण वाचतो शेअर मार्केट सेमिनार किंवा बाहेर कुठे जाहिरातसुद्धा वाचतो आणि आपण तिकडे जातो. बरंच काय 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 ऐकतो, किती छान आहे, कसं छान आहे, इथे घ्यायचं मग इकडे आलं की विकून टाकायचं वगैरे. ते आपल्याला ऑन स्क्रीन सगळं छान 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 वाटतं. पण शेवटची जे 10 मिनटं असतात ना त्यात हे जे अरेंज करणारे लोक असतात, तुम्ही आत्ता जर आमच्या ह्या अमुक ठिकाणी जे सेमिनार चालू होते त्यात तुम्ही आत्ता गुंतवलेत तर तुम्हाला 500 रुपये डिस्काउंट किंवा 1000 रुपये डिस्काउंट असं करता आणि मग आपली घाई होते. चला अरे आपण ह्याला सेमिनार हे करूया. मी एक माझा अनुभव सांगतो. मला शेअर मार्केटची प्राथमिक माहिती आहे तर चार्टिंग हे जे चार्ट्स जसं ह्यांनी सांगितलं वेगळे चार्ट सिग्नल्स वगैरे त्याची थोडंसं माहिती घ्यावी म्हणून मी त्या ह्याच्यात बुक केलं. आणि नंतर सेमिनार चालू झालं त्या माझ्यावर 2 जण होते. आम्ही लंच ब्रेकमध्ये एकत्र होतो. ते म्हणाले की हे काय थोडंसं आम्हाला कळत नाही आहे. म्हणून त्याने विचारलं तुम्हाला मुळात शेअर मार्केटमध्ये काय तुम्ही बघितलं आहे का. तर नाही म्हणे आम्ही पहिल्यांदाच करतो आहे. तर म्हटलं असं करू नका, एकदम चार्ट वगैरे हे फार वरच्या लेव्हलचं आहे. मुळात शेअर मार्केटचे बेसिक्स काय हे समजून घेतलं की पुढचे जे ॲडव्हान्स कोर्स आहे आणि मग जॅपनीज स्टँडर्ड कॅन्डलस्टिक काय, हे काय, ते काय, चार्टिंग काय, मनी फ्लो काय, ह्याच्यात कशातही जाऊ नका. इव्हन करन्सी म्हणाले, करन्सी वगैरे कशातही जाऊ नका. बेसिक फंडामेंटल समजून घ्या आणि त्यासाठी शेअर मार्केटचे स्वतःचे जे हे आहेत BSE किंवा NSE त्यांचे कोर्सेस असतात ते जॉईन करू शकता तुम्ही. तर ह्या एकदम ते हाय लेवलला जाऊ नका.
बरोबर आहे. So precaution is best to avoid taking undue risk, and at this point in time you should aim at creating your own corpus first and then going for investments. So I think we will stop here in terms of first session and the Q&A. I thank you Mr. Datar sir for actually sharing his knowledge and answering the queries from students. So thank you so much sir.
I also thank you because this is a great opportunity to interact with youngsters who are starting their career. Nice to talk to you all. Thank you.
Thank you
and
so
do
much.
visit Money Life. Thank you.